We serve thousands of eggs a week at our restaurant, and today I'm figuring out what is the best way to poach an egg. So the first method we're going to try today is your classic bread and butter, soft style poached egg. We're going to add some vinegar to the water. Basically what it does is it helps the egg white to set and cook a bit quicker. So the quicker we can get that white cooked and set around the yolk, and we just want the yolk to be just warmed through. Water's 90 to 95 degrees. We're then just going to make a slight whirl, slowly drop our egg into the center of the pan, like so. So this should take, I reckon, about 3 or 4 minutes. I am actually notoriously bad at poaching eggs. I don't know if it's my low attention span. I'm always a scramble guy. Crack them in the pan, off you go. That's why the method we use in the restaurant is a very foolproof, easy method. We steam our eggs. Well, actually, hold that thought. We'll show you later. Okay, so that is now been 5 minutes. That is looking be nice. You want that yolk just nice and warm through, but all the white is just cooked. Beautiful on toast. Very nice. Simple, classic, know what you're getting. Okay, so that's our 4.5 minute timer for our medium poached egg. And then I'm gonna leave my other egg in and leave it for another minute, 2 minutes, and that's going to be our hard poached egg. So the yolk is a little bit more cooked. The white is fully cooked now, nice and hard. The yolk is still runny in the center. That's probably how I would prefer it, if I'm honest with you. I like that. I'm going to take out our hard poached egg. It's got a weird shape, that bad boy. Worth note, this is how I would serve a hard poached egg. Jammy, there's no runniness. You know, haters gonna hate. Not my favorite, but it's good for on the go, potentially. Put it in your lunchbox. The shallow poach. Now this one looks strange to me, but we'll give it a go. Vinegar, water, low heat, 90 to 95 degrees C. Drop the egg in. I think there might be a method to the madness. Whereas this is almost like spread out a bit flatter. So it could be that the white is a bit more appealing to eat. Who knows? I'm gonna take it out now, let's see. A bit messier in sort of appearance, not as tight. However, still does look very appealing. Let's give it a taste, fair test. I think that is better. It's something about the white. It's separated more. Feels a bit nicer for some reason. I don't know why. I can't really explain it. It's strange. But I like it. I like it. Stir hard, creating a really nice vortex. Vortex activated. Looks like it's separated slightly more than that of the classic. I don't know if it's the speed of the vortex that's sort of made it separate ever so slightly, but still looks very good. There we have it. Poached egg. This is our swirl and drop method. Doesn't look the best. Which is funny because a lot of people swore by this. It's kind of one of the ones you see all over social media as being like the way to poach an egg. Because the yolk is separated from the white a bit, the yolk on the outside is slightly more cooked than I would have liked for a soft poached egg. Fairly quick and easy, but not as good as some of the ones we've tried so far. So I've got a ladle here and I've just oiled the surface slightly, or you could use a non-stick ladle. And I'm going to place my egg into the ladle, I think for 1 minute. Now the recipe says until it's set and then turn it out. So I'm going to start with a minute and see how we get on. It's come off the ladle, although it doesn't look that pretty. Let's give it a go. Actually, no trimming needed on this one. It's sort of like boiled back into it, or simmered back into the inside. I like how it's a bit flatter than the other poached eggs as well. That is quite a good techers. Obviously, you'd need like 5 or 6 ladles at home if you had a big family, all going at the same time. But solid techers. Obviously, a bit more messing around with setup and stuff, but it's a very good poached egg. I think I prefer that shallow one, but I think that is a very, very good technique. So basically, we're going to take our egg and crack it onto a fine strainer. So what you should have on this method is all the watery parts of the egg white are being strained off, leaving a very homogenized, all that nice thick white that you get when you're doing your fried egg that sticks around the yolk. All of that stays together. So what we're going to do then is just drop that into our shimmering water, same as our other poached eggs. Wow, that looks really different. You can see it already. It looks like a classic, like Little Chef poached egg. For our American audience, Little Chef is like our Wendy's. It's gone bust, but the dream lives on. Whoa, it looks a little bit too perfect now. So as you can see, all that sort of, there's no trimming needed. All that loose egg white has sort of come off of it. That lovely uniform size and shape and cleanness to it can really make the difference. Oh, that looks pretty good. all that little watery, loose egg white that's been on all the eggs previous to that sort of separates slightly from the egg and goes a bit tougher because it's so thin and watery and overcooks. Whereas this egg white is perfectly sort of coated around the yolk and just very gently poached, similar to that of the yolk. That is very good. That's got to be up there with one of the best. I think we can combine a lot of these techniques and make something pretty special. At the end of the video, I'm going to do my perfect hybrid egg using all of the techniques we've done today. So stick around. Cling film over a light dish, over a small dish. Just going to make a slight indent. I'm going to, with my fingers, just rub a tiny bit of oil over the cling film. And then we're going to place an egg into the cling film. Just going to submerge that into our water. Right, that's our 5-minute timer. Let's give it a go. I'm just going to go for it. Fortune favours the brave. I'm just going to put it out there. I think I've nailed it. If you don't like vinegar, this could be the method for you because this looks like it could be up there with one of the better ones. And we've had no vinegar. Man, this is hard. There's some really good techniques we've done so far. It feels drier. It feels like less watery. The yolk feels firmer, which is nice. That's really, really, really good. Very interesting. A little bit more work potentially, but the result speaks for itself. So we're going to start off with our eggs in a steamer tray, and we're going to steam these at 62 degrees centigrade for 40 minutes, 40. So this is a combination method that we came up with that allows us consistency, but also allows us to batch produce it. Once the eggs are cooked, we're then going to place them into our water. So what we do in the restaurant is we chill these down, and then they're ready to, then the next day, we're going to take them out. So I've got some that we've pre-done. So then we set up our water. Again, touch of vinegar in the water, simmering them sort of boil, and crack them into our bowl. So what we're here now our egg is cooked. So then what we do at this stage now is we just drop those into the water like we would with our other eggs, discarding as much of that watery white as we can. And then the egg is already cooked, so it's just a matter of warming it through. So probably only around about a minute or so for this one. So at this stage, what we would do, obviously I'm just going to reheat this and serve it. What we do, obviously for bulk production, is we would do this stage, ice them down again, and then reheat them in service. Triple cooked egg. All right then, method 9. We'll call it either the fallow method or the triple cooked egg method. Definitely has slightly less white than that of some of the other methods, obviously because you lose a little bit of the white through that process. But the shape is beautiful, the texture of the egg is great, the yolk is really, really good. That is a very solid method, more designed for sort of bulk and batch cookery, enabling you to do lots of eggs consistently at a very good level. Following on from the fallow method, but instead of steaming the eggs, we're going to water bath the eggs. Place them into a water bath set at 64 degrees, and then we'll come back to those in 45 minutes. And that was brilliant. So once your eggs are ready, you can remove them from the water. Similar to the steaming method, we're going to crack them into this bowl. What we then do is find a slotted spoon and just sort of clean off any of that white which is not looking too hot. And that, my friend, is our slow cooked egg. Let's cut them open. Definitely one of the wetter eggs we're going to see today. Not my favorite method. There is a way that you can use this which I don't mind, which is then we're going to take this egg and then drop it into the boiling water, which is going to be our next method. So take your sous vide egg, and then instead of serving it as it is now, remove as much of that sort of watery egg white as you can. And then we're just going to place it into our water, firm up, giving you a more traditional poached egg look. If you didn't have a steamer at home or access to a steamer and you wanted to achieve that same result that we do at Fallow, this would be the technique I'd be recommending for sure. And you can do it in bulk. In-laws are coming round, you've got your fucking anyone else coming round, your mates, your fucking whatever. Get the eggs in the sous vide, they won't know what's hit them. Action shot, boom. On the softer side, but obviously you can just leave it in the water for as long as you want to firm it up. Happy days, very, very solid method. Probably a more advanced technique, but brilliant nonetheless. We are doing the steam poached egg method. Never done it before, but we'll see. So we're just gonna spray these, and we're gonna crack the eggs into the dishes. So we're going to place that in, just simmering, sort of like just a rolling, just below boiling. This looks like your classic sort of 1960s sort of diner egg, doesn't it? Obviously, you can definitely understand the ease factor with it. Like, you can obviously, this is very similar to those like sort of silicone things you can sort of hang off the side of pans, isn't it? You see? Yeah, not great, is it? This obviously looks very raw on the top, but actually, when you get inside, it's quite cooked. It tastes just more like a boiled egg rather than anything. So not the best method, looks very strange, not very good presentation-wise. Very convenient. We're going for the Frilly Poached egg. Now this is one of the ones that on paper sounds the worst. It is where you drop the egg into boiling water so that the eggs get a frilly consistency rather than being smooth. So what we've got here is a sort of scattered looking egg white, but hopefully we've still maintained a not too knackered inside. I don't really know what the purpose of this would really be. Actually not bad. But the frilly bits are a bit, obviously got a little bit more of a vinegar twinge to them. They're like really overcooked. All in all, pretty average. I'm learning loads here, I hope you are too. Gonna crack the eggs into our ramekins, and this time we are going to cook them in a Bain Marie. So I've got my container of water in the oven, and then we're just going to place the eggs into the tray before covering with a lid. You could potentially use foil if you were doing this at home. I've got my oven set to 160. These ones look rough. So this has been 6 minutes in the oven. Came out nicer than the other one. Not got high hopes for this one. Don't show Will that one. Pretty uninspiring. Obviously a bit overcooked as well. But we'll move on. Now we're entering the flavor part of the video. So now we're going to incorporate some different flavors and different stocks and liquids to poach our eggs into to see if that makes a difference. This is our master chicken stock. Cooking the egg inside a stock of its own bones, I know, a bit weird. In theory, this should be delicious, but theory only gets you so far. So obviously my egg has taken on a little bit of the color from the stock. Let's see how this one performs. Secret, I didn't think it was looking too hot, but the smell of it, the taste could really outdo itself. The flavor is by far the best one we've tried. It's just the flavor of that chicken stock is just running through the egg, really savory. And obviously the cooking technique is a bit strange because you can't see the egg when it's cooking, but the taste is unparalleled to all the others. So that is a great technique. So we're going to poach eggs in milk. Now this is a new one to me. So same technique, going to submerge our egg into the simmering milk. It's quite frothy, it's quite hard to find the egg, but oh, actually looks pretty good. Absolute curveball. Probably the fat content in the milk has made it like sort of hold together a bit better. That was no straining, remember? That was no straining, and you can't really see what you're doing either. It just tastes like a perfect poached egg. That has really surprised me. That has really surprised me. The technique is, the egg is perfectly cooked. It's like we've done one of those other tricks that we've done with the steaming or the slow cooking before the poaching, but you haven't had to do any of that. You've just dropped it straight into the milk. Whatever that is bloody good. And I know what it is, it's poaching it in milk. For my next trick, I'll be poaching an egg in butter. So we've clarified this and we've just placed it in a pan to heat through. Now with this technique, you obviously have to be careful because the butter will go hotter than the temperature of water. It's like a combination of a fried and a poached sort of mixed together. It's almost like a gentle fried egg, more than a poached egg, but it smells very good. Obviously, I'm assuming the flavour is going to be immense, but let's see. It's very good. It's not that buttery. You get a little bit, obviously, from the, but I think the outside of the egg is so smooth that the butter just sort of comes straight off. It doesn't really get soaked in. And for this technique, I would much rather have preferred that one that we cooked in stock, because I feel like the stock really permeated through. Not bad, but not that good either. This is a method we found from the French, classic. Le fond vin rouge. We don't have any French audience, so it's fine, I can say that. Ooh. Ooh. Doesn't look great, but let's see. That looks actually disgusting. It looks like something comes out your shower drain, doesn't it? Right, we're now getting into the realms of what are we doing here? But let's give it a go. It's a fair test. It's a fair test. It seemed like quite a bit more of that wateriness of the white sort of seems to separate. It definitely has that tinge to it, like wine in the back of your mouth. And I do think the wine has reacted with the eggs somewhat. So again, doesn't look great, doesn't taste great. We'll scrap that one from the repertoire. We're going for one of the classic methods done by Chef Julia Child from the 1960s. This method kind of feels more modern for when it would have been invented. So we're going to go into boiling water for 10 seconds. And then after 10 seconds, we're going to take the egg out, turn the pan down, and then poach it. But the idea is that the boiling for the 10 seconds, that was quick. It's quick bloody 10 seconds. The idea is that that 10-second boil will just firm up the white slightly before you poach it. I don't think it's really done anything. First impressions looks exactly the same as method 1, which means in 19 methods we've achieved nothing. Only joking. The Julia Child 10-second egg is out of the pan. Does look very similar. Is there potentially a little bit less of the white? I don't think there's a difference to number 1. It is a very, very nice poached egg, but I don't think there's any difference to that of a normal egg. We're going to Bulgaria. So we've got vinegar water, a touch more than normal, and we've got to set our water to only 80 degrees. 80 degrees, I'm assuming that's going to take a lot longer. So let's go for 5. Almost looks like a cloudy, sort of dewy morning, like on top of a hill. A Bulgarian slow-cooked egg at 80 degrees. So it looks a little bit less together than some of the other ones. I would say it tastes exactly the same. I can't tell any difference in that one. So basically the same as method number 1, and to us the same as the Julia Child one. We wanted to show how to do a quail egg. Just crack your eggs into vinegar, because it just helps the eggs sort of amalgamate together. Because obviously if you lose any egg white on a quail egg, you're going to have not much left after it. Why don't we try the same technique with a normal egg? So lo and behold, we're going to give it a go. So we're going to leave those and come back to them in a minute. So this hen's egg has been in here for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to pour it over a strainer, capture my egg inside. Whoa, that has come together very, very quickly. Then I'm going to do the same with our quail eggs. Right, I'm taking the quail eggs out. They almost look like little Haribo eggs. Yeah, it's like a pickled egg of that. Very strong in vinegar. Oh yeah, it's like a pickled egg. But let's see, the hen's egg's bigger. Maybe it can hold up to it a bit better. Looks a bit unnatural, a bit like the water bath egg. Very perfect, but not necessarily very natural. Again, very harsh vinegar flavour on the outside. Almost has like a skin on the outside. Not very good, that. Too strong in vinegar. A weird film on the outside, giving you a perception that it's cooked when actually it's still a bit under. So for the ultimate poached egg, we are going to take 3 different techniques we've done today. More designed for sort of bulk and batch cookery. Pre-steamed egg from the fallow technique, steamed for 40 minutes at 63 degrees centigrade. We are then going to strain our egg. I then got my stock warmed through. I'm just going to lower my egg into the stock, like so. Then we're going to go timer, 1 minute, 20 seconds, exactly. So to summarize, this is what I'm hoping, or what I think is the perfect poached egg. As far as poached eggs go, doesn't get much better than that. Give it a go at home, see how you get on. Maybe it'll change your life, maybe you'll think it's too much effort, who knows. To see Will doing every way to fry an egg, click here, and to see me doing every way to scramble an egg, click here. Because you really must love eggs if you watch this far.